Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bearded Respect, number 125. Woo.
And Mike is still part of the team. He's still in Europe. I'm just a fill-in guy.
Will's just helping out while Mike's out. Mike would stop in, but it's like 2 in the morning where he is.
Yep. But hey, now that you guys know, Jason can take a vacation now.
I need one. Uh,
So you want to welcome
Good
these fine
stuff.
people to the show?
Yep, we'll get started here. Hey, John, good evening.
Hello there.
We got E-Rock. Hey, E. Hey, Michael. Michael's in early.
No way.
We got Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hey, brother.
Bayard Beard and Body.
How you doing?
There's Mrs. Bayou. I hope you're doing all well.
Hello.
Last week there was concerns. I hope everything went well.
Yes, hopefully.
It's still a little touch and go, but things are better than they were last week.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
Hey, Chris, the local dad jokester. Whiskers and Whiskey. Good evening.
How you doing?
Ours in
Hey,
Louisiana.
William.
Hey, how y'all are?
Hello.
Hey, Shade. American Classic Beard Co. Good to see you.
Personal friend of mine.
Bearded Psycho. Self-Care Hangout.
Hello.
How you doing, Max?
There's Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Always a good time when he's here.
No way.
Hey, Dynamite.
Hello there, children.
TV. There they are. They said they'd be here. Frickin' frack.
Hello, neighbor.
There's it's got to be one of my favorite handles. Toll Booth Willie. Hey, Willie.
I see my share of toll booths in the last week, so
No
Amber.
way.
Hello.
Jessica. Good to see you.
Hello.
That's from Mrs.
There's
Dow.
Chris.
Yep.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing, Chris?
There's
No
John.
way.
Hey, John. John Drennan, not John Fox. A lot of Johns.
Yeah, and the
You're
president,
not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
he just dropped a dad joke.
Yeah, I'm sure you caught it. He's still over in Europe on vacation.
Yes. He didn't want to stay up till 2 in the morning.
Probably because he wants to drink a pint before bed.
Hey, Ray. 20 spray Ray.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of space.
just filling in.
Hello.
not
I
in
got
the
that.
chat.
There's Brad. Hey, Brad.
How you doing?
There she is. There's Becky, Mrs. Brew City.
Hello, Becky. Hello, Becky.
Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Sometimes with my memory, I forget if I said your name or not. So you might get it twice.
Getting it twice, but not at all.
Yeah. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey, how's it going?
Hello there, children.
I gotta get that sound effect.
Oh, there. There's Dan. Hey, Dan.
How you doing? Welcome back.
Triple B.
Hey, Triple B. I had a chance to meet him last weekend. It was
I
pretty
saw
cool.
a picture.
Yeah. Yep.
Is he a giant? Or are you just?
Oh, yes, he's a giant.
Yeah, you look normal size, and he looks like.
Yep.
Hey, Nicholas.
Yeah, they were all
Oh,
different heights there.
the cat got a bath.
Oh, yeah, she's been talking about it all week.
And I'm caught up.
Oh yeah, we got Bayou Elf is in the chat too now. That's the one thing I've noticed. It doesn't matter how tall or short you are, you can still have an epic beard.
Triple B says I'm just tiny.
I don't know, but he looked like a pretty big guy. But you know, I'm only 5'6", and I only weigh like a $150.
Yeah, Bayard, maybe we'll make it out to Great American in Detroit. Since I don't think any of us are going to make it to Nationals this year. The sounds of it.
When and where is Nationals? Or is it not scheduled yet?
Everett, Washington.
Oh no.
That's what I said.
Nah.
That's 1,987 miles from where I live.
It's even further because I've been up to Tacoma and Seattle.
Yeah.
Out of Lafayette, hauling a load out of Lafayette. Yeah. No, it's a nice place to visit. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a little too long of a trip.
I don't know if Will's 5'6", but I'm 5'6". And Triple B is 6'4", so.
I'm 2,565 miles away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even going to look it up.
It would take me 38 hours.
Closest, and he's got a conference to go to in Boston that week.
It would take me 38 hours to drive there, it says.
Well, you know, if you have the right coffee, it can be done.
There is no right coffee. There's no such thing.
Oh man, You and Dagan must be like brothers or something. Y'all must be related.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we got some tall ones in here.
Yep. Oh, where's Kyle? Oh wow.
Yeah, that is pretty short. What's his name? Oh, I can't think of his
Zeb?
name. He doesn't post much lately. Yeah, Zeb, he's
Zeb,
only 5'2".
yeah.
Fun size. But Bearded Death, 6'4" and 330, but his little brother is 6'7" and 400. Good googly moogly.
How's that little?
Dude, I'd hate to feed them. I couldn't afford it. Might be cheaper to buy than clothes.
Okay. With that, we may as well bring on our guest before we get too far along here.
Yeah, and he's above 5'4". I know that much. Maybe not much, but I
So,
don't.
with that, here he is.
Yeah, I'm 5'7" to be precise.
Like I said just a little while ago, it doesn't matter how tall or short you are, you can still have an epic beard.
Yep.
By genetics.
I don't know if you get too short, you try to get a long epic beard, you're gonna be dragging it on the ground.
But that makes it even more impressive.
Just wrap it around your shoulder, or neck, in one good time.
I mean,
Yeah, I was at a beard competition last weekend in Michigan called Sasquatch Uncut, and they had guys who had over 24-inch long beards.
wow.
Makes you feel like yours is short.
Just by the name Sasquatch, I'm thinking, yeah, I don't belong there. I'm too hairless to be there.
Well, there were
That's
some
the-
pretty hairy guys there. They even have a full body hair category.
Alrighty then. As long as it was all limited to men.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with women, just I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I see all these comments, all these people saying, "Hey, Chris and True North, shout out to him, Corey, and everyone else as well."
And the crickets start chirping. No, it's the cicadas.
Yeah, people just put my website in the comments. I see that. Appreciate it. So,
Cool.
so
Yep.
So, Jason, you ready for some questions?
Yes, I am. You
Hang on
gonna
here
do
a
the
second.
little thing? Yeah.
And no Mike this week, but we've got Jason here to fill in.
And an unreasonable facsimile.
Okay, our first question, our old standby, gotta ask, what was your favorite toy as a kid?
oh man, that's hard to say. I'll just say the He-Man toys.
He-Man.
The He-Man action figures. So I like them, GI Joes, and then I moved on to guns. I used to play War in the Woods with my buddies, and then we moved on to BB guns, and like and then about 12 years old, just like your last guest, I started skateboarding, and I skated till I was about 34 and 35 as well.
Mm.
And so I forget his name from Bearded Death. I watched that today, and I was just like, dude, this guy is just same thing as me. So I skated until I was about 34, 35. I just gave it up because I was getting older. Didn't want to take the risk of breaking myself and not being able to provide for my family.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Okay, my next question is, how long have you been growing a beard?
2 years.
2 years?
Yep.
Okay, I mean, you didn't have a beard when you were younger and then like shave it off or?
And when I was around 28, 22, I had the Abe Abe Lincoln, whatever it is, where it just goes around the jawline. I had that for a little bit and got rid of it. Man, I think I made a mistake of doing this outside. The moths is just like the cicadas I was telling you about. I'm having to dodge like bullets right now. so if it gets too bad, I'll go sit on the couch. You have to watch me move, but I hope they don't. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll move on.
Dodging moths is still a lot better than dodging Mothman.
Better than dodging cicadas, man. And down towards Forsyth and Macon, it was like literally like this. Driving down the interstate, it was just like hitting my windshield like crazy. So yeah, it was 2 years, and I like to keep it about where it's at.
Now, other than, I mean, that's one, I'm going to point this out. That's one thing about your website. You know, a lot of companies give a little bit of background and history and things about you, about yourself, which is nice. I like that. But what other than making beard products, what are some of your other hobbies and what do you like to do?
Well, if you check out Valiant Images, I actually shared through Sockeye Valiant Images. I like to take photos as a hobby. I haven't done it in quite a bit. I've been keeping my camera in my truck, aka work truck, as well. I've been meaning to get back into it, but that's what I like to do. If I can find some people to jam with, I would like to play music. I haven't done that in a long time. So, and I have Call of Duty 3, the 2006. I like to play Skyrim. I wouldn't consider those hobbies, but that's what I do in my spare time. So, but yeah, Call of Duty, I like to play that if I'm as a way of relaxing in the evening, even though it's stressful. spawning and dying, and cursing out the lag. But yeah, photography and is the main thing I do, and as a hobby, and occasionally I pick up the guitar and fiddle around with that.
Cool. What system do you play on?
I'm still on the Xbox 360, man. I'm a dinosaur.
Hey, as long as it works.
Yeah. Well, COD 3, the 2006 one, it's still working, and it's compatible with the newer consoles, and we've got people our age and older who play that game. So it's like a community, about 50 people who play almost every night. I was actually playing right before I came on, and then started getting on with you guys. And yeah, and Skyrim as well. Freaking Fraxis Skyrim. I play Skyrim as a way of winding down too, and Civilization.
Yeah, I played that some.
Yeah,
Play it.
The soundtrack for Civilization is pretty cool. I stream it on Spotify every now and then.
Cool.
And Skyrim.
I'm going to make this one question 4 this time because the last question might be involved. But if you could do only one thing on your bucket list, you could only pick one, what would it be?
If I could only pick one thing on my bucket list. Oh, man. I'll just say I'd go to Hawaii. I haven't done that yet. I would say I would just go visit Hawaii, all the islands, and if back permitting, I would like to get out and try some waves too. Probably have to boogie board because of my back, but it'd be nice to hit some smaller waves out there and see what it's like to surf. Surfing was the only thing I never got around to doing. I did skateboarding and snowboarding. I done skiing. I tried to surf, but to learn to surf on my own. But I did that during a storm down in Jacksonville, Florida. And when you don't know what you're doing, it's not safe. So I got out.
And that's
I
probably not
mean,
a place to surf.
since you did a lot of skateboarding, do you find that, it kind of might have come easier than just some random guy trying to do it, or was it?
Surfing?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes and no, because you got to get on. You still got to get on the board and stand up.
Yeah.
So once I'm on the board and get a feel for it, maybe I'll have a better idea of balancing. But my guess is you're not going to be any better than some guy who's never stood on a board at all. And that's just me. I don't know. Someone else could probably chime in on that.
The fact you got up on the board,
Yeah,
I'm
we
impressed.
we went on vacation. We were in San Diego one year, and the two daughters, we let them do it. We went to a place and they took them out, showed them how to do it, and the older one, she got up and she went a little bit. She did pretty good, but yeah, the younger one, she had a hard time. She said, "That's enough. I can't do it, so I'm done." But yeah, it was fun watching him. I wasn't going to try it. I'm too old. But okay, and my last question is, which is going to try kind of get into starting to talk about your company, is what made you start Sockeye beard company?
I like making beard oils. I liked making the butters, and it was fun. I was like, why not make the hobby a side business, and maybe it'll become more than that, So that's what I was. That's what made me do it. It's fun making your own. If you've never done it, I suggest trying it. If you're not into, if you're not into a hobby, that's not your thing. It's not your thing. But that's what made me do it.
Did you ever guess
Scott's try it?
You take on?
What's that?
Did you ever guess that would be something you would take on?
No, not at all. I don't know. It's just kind of it's one of those things I never thought I would actually take on a business of my own. I thought about it in the past, in passing. Oh, this sounds like a fun idea, but I never thought it'd be beard oils that I would actually try to take off on, or beer products. So I'm excited. It's something I actually can do with this bad neck and back.
Just
A friend of mine that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say now, just for the people in the chat, how long have you been a business?
I started around August, September of last year.
Yeah.
I forget the precise day.
That's about the time I
So,
started
yeah,
getting into product.
So I've been around for about a year, so I'm still startup phase, getting to know the ropes. The way I chose to do it is I didn't know what I was doing. So I just I like to say I baptized myself into something I didn't know I was doing, just jumped headlong into it and realizing along the way is like, whoa, yeah. So, okay. The cool thing is Corey built a good friendship with Corey from Weatherbeard, and he's been coaching me a lot here in the way, even stepping on my toes here and there. So it's been a great journey ever since I met him.
Yeah, he's a great guy who's been around this business for quite a while. So he has a lot of great information. It's great that owners share that with other company owners.
Yeah, that is an amazing gift.
Yeah.
What's one thing that kind of surprised you or shocked you, or what was a hard life lesson that you've learned so far by starting this business?
Life lesson is don't jump into something without doing more research than I actually did. You need to, make sure you understand the math of the butters. The math, I started to get the bombs down before that, but I took them off because I want to find I wanted to take out the cocoa butter, and so it's best to have a little money saved aside. If you're going to be like me, where you don't want to get a credit card or a business loan and pay those interest rates and and all that, be paying on that. Be best to save money ahead of time. Have savings for the side. Get your butters and balms down first instead of trying to learn it along the way. That would be the thing I would say to anyone who asks me about starting their own business.
Gotta live and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a friend of mine that he heard me mention in a live stream that I need to pick up a second income, a side income. And he called me up and says, "Hey man, I can get you started out and teach you how to make beard oil and beard butter. And man, you can start making money real quick." I'm like, "No man, I was talking about something a little more passive." He said, "Okay, you don't want to know, let me know." And I'm like, "Okay, appreciate it, man."
Yeah, that's something you should do, man. Find something passive to sell.
Well, that's something my wife was thinking about, and I told her, I said, "Babe, why reinvent the wheel? I mean, look at the companies that we've got here available. Man, I don't need to make it. I'm getting great products already."
Supposedly you wanted to sell feet pics.
Hey man, if I can, I will. What the heck? I'm having surgery next week, man. Somebody's got to pay the bills.
Oh yeah, it's kind of tough out there unless you've got some kind of a secondary income.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's honest.
Right.
A little sob story. When I was in Alaska, I was struggling, and I just broke down because we was talking about photography, and this is I'm not suggesting this. I'm not saying I would ever do this now. I thought, you know what, I just don't give a rip anymore. I was like, I'll learn. People love weed in Alaska. I just learned to sell weed and make porn. And God hooked me up that week. Yeah, it's retarded, man. I was down and out. That's not making an honest side hustle without doing something that destroys people's lives is a good thing. And that's the moral of the story that I want to say. I was broke. I mean, I was like, man, I just want to give up. Screw it. And then, I prayed about it. And next thing I know, I was on a fishing boat. And I haven't looked back. I've never had it. I just that kind of stuff never crossed my mind again. It was just like, and so it was a weak moment of weakness. Wanted to give up, and then, God hooked me up with a good job, honest living. So, the point is passive income is better than turning to illicit stuff that destroys people's lives and is immoral. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you.
We're not going to be the street corner pharmaceutical sales rep, but
Now you have a regular 9 to 5 now?
Yeah, it's somewhat, and I wouldn't say it's 9 to 5. It's 8 in the morning until 8 in the evening. So I do door-to-door sales, knocking on people's doors. That guy you don't want, you see coming down the street, and you put the blinds down. That's me. Hey, I'm Chris. your lawn looks like crap. Let me help you out. No, I don't say that, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of HOAs and neighborhoods, and they get in fines. And I'm like, hey, let me help you out, get those fines away, take care of those weeds for you. So I sell lawn care.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
I didn't know if you were doing this full time yet or not. I mean, a lot of people don't do it full time yet. They just they can't. It wouldn't make it for them, you know.
No, for me, I actually just wanted it to be a side hustle. And then I was talking to Corey, and he told me his story, and I was like, man, I'm 46 years old. It would be kind of nice if it becomes my full-time job. But, you know,
Yeah.
it's right now it's a side hustle, and it's a hobby as a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of these beard companies started out. Just along those lines. But you were talking about Alaska, and that's the theme for your company. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Alaska?
Well, yeah.
Well, the company. Okay. Alaska is, to me, is one of the most, if not the top, most beautiful place to live in the world. You know, I lived in Homer, which is about 4.5 5 hour drive south of Anchorage on the Kenai Peninsula. You know, you come down the hill and you see the mountains and the bay, and you just fall in love. Especially if you go up in the summer, like going into May, into June. You just fall in love. I chose to move up in the middle of winter and in December when it's hard to find a job. It's a fishing town, touristy town, and by December, if you're not locked into a job, you might be floating around for a little bit trying to find one. You know, so I had money saved. Talking about saving money, I saved money in a night and down here, distribution center. Saved all my money working nights. And I was able to spend a month before I started working at a coffee shop, and just fell in love with the place ever since. From that, moving forward, and that's why I chose the theme an Alaskan theme. Is like, well, I could do something with Georgia because I actually physically live here, and I'm just like, I don't even like Georgia. I'm here because my wife wants to be here. You know, I can't talk her into moving to Alaska. You know, or out northwest somewhere. Where there's mountains, you know, when I say mountains, we're talking peaks. And I've got to have, you know, like Bilbo, it's mountains, Gandalf. I got to see mountains again. You know, that's where I'm at. So yeah, and so I long since found out there's a couple of companies in Alaska. You know, there's Permafrost and one other one, but there was really no Northwest kind of theme, Alaska theme, and I was like, oh, I'll just go with that because that's another thing I'm passionate about.
Yeah, there's definitely some great views. You see a lot of great pictures from Alaska. And is there any? I know you have the Sockeye for a name. Does that come from the being on the fishing boats, or?
Yeah, just being around the culture of, you know, there was the fish stocks out there. You know, a lot of commercial fishing going on there. Like I said, I've been on a couple of boats, commercial fishing. We call them reds, but sockeye is the same thing. When you're fishing, commercial fishing, you got pinks, which are humpies, reds, which are the sockeyes, and it's kind of a cultural theme. I don't know what it's like going down to the Panhandle into Washington, but I do know where I was at. You might see a business pop up that says Sockeye. Or anything related to the area, you know, so things like that. So that's where the name came from.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool theme, and you don't expect that coming from Georgia.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a question.
I actually live on a mountain here in Pennsylvania, and it's called Penview Mountain. However, I just wanted to look it up to let you know. Its elevation is only 1,893 feet. So that's just like a hill as to what you're talking about.
Yeah, We had 3 volcanoes up the Cook Inlet, and Augustine actually erupted while I was up there. Augustine and Redoubt. So that was pretty interesting to see all the ash floating around.
And did you guys like sacrifice a virgin to make the volcano stop?
No. We had to wear our mask, where you have to put like a sock or something over your vents in the cars. The filters of your car to keep it from clogging up.
Now, I have a fishing question for you, Chris.
Sure.
When you were up there, did you catch salmon or salmon?
Salmon. And I had to move up there to learn the L was silent. As soon as I said salmon, they corrected me pretty fast. And I don't say Coke when I want a Mountain Dew. They say soda up there. Most people said sodas. Occasionally you hear pop, but it was soda.
Yeah, last weekend we were over in Michigan, and everybody was making fun of us because we called them soda instead of pop.
We're not going to get started about weed eaters.
Yeah. Well, down here in the South, it's Coke.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a Coke.
You want a Coke? What kind? Orange?
Since Will brought it up, I hate to touch on this subject, but since you're in the business that you are, what is it in Georgia? Is it a weed eater or a weed whacker?
Here we go again.
This has been like a discussion lately.
I was raised to say weed eater. Now, I think I've heard a couple of people say weed whacker, but it's weed eater.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel vindicated.
I don't know. Whatever brought it up.
No, now that's enough. No more discussion, boy. We got into heated debates on that.
But, yeah, that could take over the show.
Since we had a professional in the house, I thought I'd ask him.
Anybody wants to carry it on Instagram or Facebook. We're done with it for tonight.
Oh.
Man, those things can go on forever, and they're fun to have.
Yep.
So it's like potato. But yeah, man. So what's you got any more questions about Sockeye or whatever?
Oh, yeah. I had a question. I was thinking about it earlier today. Now, your deodorants, okay?
Yeah.
They're aluminum free and baking soda free. Now, I have a question. Can you build up a tolerance to deodorants? Just like drinking, when you first start drinking, you have 1 or 2 beers and you're hammered. But if you keep at it, you can drink a case and it doesn't bother you. Can you build up a tolerance to deodorants?
We got a cat introducing itself. Nice. Cool. In my research of trying to do in deodorants, I didn't research that deep into it. I just wanted to. I was like, well, if I'm going to make butters, let me see what I could do with a deodorant. So, and I started researching natural deodorants, other companies, and what they were using, and tried a couple of formulas and try to, YouTube videos. So as far as that depth of knowledge, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
The only reason I ask is I had trouble for years using the store-bought stuff, and it got to the point where I was just using Gold Bond powder,
Mm-hmm.
And then I found some, the natural deodorant. So, and I know they always say, there's always, it takes a certain amount of time to rid yourself of all that aluminum that's in your system, until it starts working well for you. So
Mm-hmm.
when I kind of first got into the natural deodorants, I didn't have an issue because I hadn't used regular deodorant for over a year. And now my wife, she has bought me that Mando deodorant, which is by Lume, at Lume, which says it's okay. And the first couple bars she got me worked really well, but then I ran out and she got me a 3-pack now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to find it's not working as well as it did before.
Huh.
So that's why I was wondering if you could build a tolerance to it, or
I don't know, man. I've been using my own deodorants for months now, and I don't stink.
yeah,
And the real test was people like Will here trying it out while they're working out, and I put some on this morning, and I don't stink. So I couldn't tell you. Um, that's interesting. Now I'm gonna look that up.
well, the thing is too that I wonder is, where I work we get uniforms, and I mean they're Carhartt jeans we get through the rental service, and the t-shirts, I just get a t-shirt, but they're a 50-50. I think it's 50-50. It might even be more polyester than cotton, just because it holds up better in their washing, And so sometimes I don't know if it's the detergent they're using,
Hmm.
but towards the end of the day, even at work, I mean, I wouldn't say I totally stink, but I don't smell like I did in the morning. And so that, maybe it's their detergent. I don't know.
I
But
Yeah, that's something we have to research, just in case someone else asks me that. Be a little more knowledgeable about what's going on.
yeah.
So,
Or just
I,
use Sockeye deodorant, and no matter what you're
Well,
wearing, you won't
that's
stink.
why I was thinking of trying it. That's
yeah, man.
Well, since we're talking about that stuff, I created a little presentation just to let people know about what you have to offer.
Hmm.
So we may as well get into that quick.
And now with our feature presentation.
Sockeye Beard Company. Um, this was on your site. I just threw it in here.
Yeah,
Is that Umik?
Umik, Umik.
Mean
And I reached out to one of my buddies who lives in one of the villages up in the close to the North Slope. He's up in the what do they call it? Barren something. Once you get Barren Tundra or whatever. After Fairbanks, it becomes something. I forget what's all of a sudden I forget what it's called. I said, "What's the Eskimo name for beard?" And he says it's Umik, and it's actually with a Q in there. But he's like, "You best just put a K, so people will understand it better." And so Umik. A little fun story, it says over there in Eskimo, and I just Inupiat, just to give the more indigenous name there. His story is there's a bias between the Canadian Eskimo and the Alaskan Eskimo. And he says Inupiat just it means the real people, and the Upiats or Piats or whatever is just people. Oh, they're just people. We're the real people. And I just thought I'd die laughing. I was just like, y'all up there having tribal wars all these years.
so I mean, real quick, are beards popular in Alaska? Do a lot of people have beards?
Yes, they do. A
Okay.
lot of the construction guys, especially the commercial fishermen, they don't shave. Quite often, they'll grow a beard. If you watch Deadliest Catch,
Mhm.
I can't say for certain because but most often I see. I don't know what they. I have never watched the show. I lived up there, so I lived there and never watched the show. But I've seen those guys come off with beards after a few months. Um, there are certain places you're not going to be able to get one. Like if you have a job in a fast food restaurant or a restaurant, and maybe that's changed. I'm just talking about from my experience from 2000 to 2011. A lot of the construction guys, it's usually your blue collar construction and commercial fishermen guys who have the beards
Yeah.
and the hippies. There's a lot of hippies up there too.
The hipsters.
Hipsters, yeah, they were there too. And I guess you can say I was one of them. I just didn't have a beard at the time.
Well, we're glad you came around.
Yeah, for real, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then we have your beard oil. Oh, I screwed that up. It's supposed to be a 1 ounce for $20.
I was going to say, oh, he's got 2 ounce oils.
Oh, and the ingredients we have are jojoba oil, argan oil, meadowfoam seed oil, rosehip oil, and essential oils. And I believe there's some fragrance in there.
Yeah, there's fragrance in the Journeyman. You'll find fragrance, and I put that in there on the bottles, which blends have fragrance oils, and most all of them are going to have, except for Blue River. There's no, yeah, there is. Sorry, there is essential in there. The ginger is essential oil, but the other two are fragrances. But yeah, there's fragrance oils and essential oils. Northern Lights is just straight essential oil.
Okay.
And I can speak from personal experience. Journeyman knocked it out the park with this scent. It is great.
And then we have beard butters. I believe I got that right as being a 2 ounce for $20.
Yeah. Yep, you got that one right.
Shea butter, jojoba oil, argan oil, meadowfoam seed oil, rosehip oil, and essential oils, and some fragrance as we discussed.
Yep.
And that's a pretty creamy butter.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoy it.
Don't know how many of you folks at home can see that, but you can
Yeah.
tell I've used quite a bit of it.
Okay, and then going over some of your scents. Denali, which is a smooth blend of sandalwood, bergamot, vanilla, eliciting the tranquil majesty of the Denali wilderness. Captain's Brew, which is a fusion of rustic woods, coffee. Oh, I'm going to butcher that word.
Copaiba. Yeah, I butchered it for a while, and then I did I did a live stream with Chris with the beard, and we were trying to, and I couldn't say it. And if you go to my profile, I actually put up a little spoof where he and I couldn't figure it out, and I got on YouTube and found an audio that says Copaiba. So if you ever have any doubt, go look for that over on my Instagram page. It's there's little videos. It'll tell you how to say it.
So, what is that?
It is an essential oil, and that's all I can tell you about it. Other than it's a very sweet, very light scent. It's not like in your face. You have to like smell it a few times to really smell it, and so it just kind of gives a little nice undertone to the blend.
So, and then a hint of black pepper, capturing the rugged nature of the autumn cabin after a summer fishing the open seas.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we have Northern Lights, which is a captivating blend of vetiver, black spruce, and sweet orange that brings out the enchanting awe of the aurora borealis. Journeyman, which Will was talking about, it's a sophisticated blend of smoked oud, sweet tobacco, and vanilla, exhibiting the heart of adventure and intrigue. And that one does sound like it'd be a good one too.
Yeah.
Don't
And then we have Winter Solstice, which I believe is only a deodorant,
For now.
which is woods, citrus, and peppermint. The profile of black spruce, bergamot, cypress, peppermint, patchouli wakes you up with a relaxed feel, resembling a sunny morning in the middle of a snow-packed winter. And we've got Blue River, which is a refreshing cologne profile with a touch of wood and spice.
So, John Drennan, to answer your question, I didn't want you to think we were ignoring you. You asked if he had some woodsy, earthy scents. I was waiting for this, so I think that answered your question.
Yeah, the Blue River, I think, is very woodsy, probably a little earthy. And that Denali probably would be a very woodsy one for you.
I have the Denali in the deodorant, and it's a very, very pleasant scent.
Yeah.
And
I think Captain's Brew it's got a pretty wood rustic smell to it as well. With the coffee in it is not the top note and the main note in there. It's kind of an you got the fragrance, the that rustic fragrance, and the essential oils of coffee, black pepper, and everything else brings in everything underneath it.
Cool. I know a lot of coffee scents, it almost gets overpowering. But if it's a back note, that probably works out better.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I have another coffee scented product, and it smells great. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little too strong to smell all day, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I worked at a coffee shop, so it doesn't bother me.
And then we have your deodorant, which is a 2 ounce for $12, with shea butter, arrowroot powder, coconut oil, safflower oil, beeswax, magnesium hydroxide, zinc oxide, vitamin E, fragrance and essential oil. And all of Sockeye Beard Company's deodorants are aluminum free, made without baking soda, and long lasting.
And I can attest to that.
Yeah, yeah. That baking soda, man, it just made me. I made a blend with baking soda, and it just hurt right here. And I said, "Yep, no, that ain't happening."
Chris, any plans for a bourbon and tobacco scent?
Yes, there's plans for that. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I think I'll be very interested in that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping to. There's so many bourbon fragrances out there, and it's I want to be just as unique as everybody else. So, but if all else fails, I like to keep it simple. Like my carriers are just simple. You know, just you got the 4 carriers there, and I just keep it simple. So there's a chance I might just throw you a simple blend out there as well.
Yeah. As long as it works and smells good, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then we also have deodorant for the ladies out there, with arrowroot powder, shea butter, coconut oil, safflower oil, magnesium hydroxide, zinc oxide, vitamin E, essential oils. It comes in either unscented or moonbeam scent. And Moonbeam is infused with lavender, vanilla, and lang lang. It offers a gentle and effective shield against the day's hustle.
Yeah. What do you think about that moonbeam sound there, Will?
It's great, man. She thinks
Yeah.
it's too.
Yeah. Moonbeam, I got the idea from Will's wife, her Instagram profile. And it's like, that's a cool name. And so I was like, that'd be a cool name for a blend as well.
And then he made the perfect blend for her because I'm not saying my wife doesn't know all of these fragrances combinations, but when she smelled it, she's like, "This is something I would do," and I was like, "Cool, let me call her."
Well, it looks like Becky might be interested in that as well.
Well,
Yeah.
tell
I
Becky
just,
to look up my wife on Instagram, and my wife will tell her about it.
yeah. So I would like to say I am doing the pace for the ladies because my wife and my sister-in-law, I was bouncing off of them before I had Will's wife try it. Um, I went with the paste because it seems like a lot of ladies like the pasty stuff more, and they couldn't handle the beeswax in their arm. But I've since tried a couple of sticks for my mom, sister, and brought the beeswax down even for the men's deodorant. If any ladies hear about the ladies deodorant and want a stick, just message me Instagram or my website, and I'll make sure you'll get a stick instead of the same price as the tin cans, $12. So I can just make a stick for you.
Yeah, I had one company that would put it in like well, it was a plastic jar instead of a tin, but
Hmm.
it was different. But their blend seemed to work. So
And it's great that it's all natural.
yes,
And I
Yep.
never thought I'd say that.
I've actually
I want it all natural.
so as far as the paste goes, they do work just like the sticks. Because of the beeswax melting when I go to make these sticks, quite often there's leftovers, so I have to make extra so it bypasses the because everything I do double boiler. I'm a micro batch
hmm
made to order at the moment until things start popping a little more. So I go to pour it in there, and I noticed I was losing some, and then I would have to make a little extra. When I first started making it, and I was just like, no. So I make a little extra, and so whatever's left, I just pour it in for myself, And I've been using Northern Lights as a paste, and it works just the same. You just have to wash your hands afterwards, and I don't understand why the ladies are cool with that, but over the guys in comparison to guys, most guys, oh, just give me a stick and go. But if you're cool, it's just like with butter. You just have to clean your hands off afterwards. That's it.
Or you use a popsicle stick.
yeah, I've done
Or a
it.
popsicle stick, yeah.
Yeah, suppose never really thought of it.
Oh, and that reminds me, I need to get on the ball about that. I want to bring out some sticks with these ladies' deodorant so they can do that.
Well,
I've just been so busy, it literally spaced my mind. I'm a one-man show, so my apologies.
until then, I have a great excuse to buy popsicles now. Because we have popsicle sticks.
Okay, maybe I'll when I see when you guys reach out to get one for me, I'll just not put a stick in there.
Whatever works.
Cool. Does Sockeye have any other products that are on the horizon, like a wash or something down the road?
Not just yet. Not just yet. I've got merch, but I'm using TeePublic. Like I said, everything is out of pocket, and I didn't save money to start this. I just baptized myself into, or jumped into it.
Yeah.
So you'll have to go use the link in my on my website to take you over to TeePublic. You can just buy stickers, T-shirts there, varieties. Um, as far as washes, no, right now I just want to get the basics down, and and just go from there. I do plan on bringing bombs back. I just got to get around to having the money to buy the labels. And that's it.
So you got your formula for that. Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
you just got to get the labels. And so if anyone wants one, you just reach out to me. It's the same price as the beard oils and beer bombs. I mean, beer butters. So.
And putting a link in the chat here for the merchandise. And this is the website. There, I think there is more than that. It looks like there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there should be stickers on there. I think magnets. You got T-shirts. You got the hoodie there.
Yeah. All right. Where'd it go?
Is that hoodie and the blowfish? Hoodie and
No.
the fish.
Hoodie and the Sockeye. Yeah, you have to scroll down and it'll show you the different things, or you click on that. Once you click on that,
like
it's
T-shirts.
Yeah, and if you scroll down to the bottom, yeah, I think you can do it from right there on the side as well. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, there's hoodie. Some hats. Just find a category you're looking for, and you can pretty much go to it.
Yeah, baseball tees are on there.
Yeah. How does that work for you? That site works pretty well, or?
Yeah, it works well, and it's connected. You know, it's all interconnected to the same account. So that's how it works for me.
Well, Amber says she's putting stuff in her cart.
Nice. I won't.
Kevin says it looks like he'll be trying a new deodorant.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and I need to get more official labels for the deodorants. I found a nice generic label, and I just print them off here with a Brother printer. So that's where I'm at with that right now. You know, as more revenue comes in, it pays for the business itself. That's whatever, you know, I probably could pocket. I'm just going to be putting right back into the business to buy labels.
Yeah, that's how a lot of owners do it too.
Yeah.
I know of beer company owners who've been in business for probably 5 years, and they still don't pay themselves.
Yeah.
They still keep investing it into the business.
Yeah, it's a fun business too, man. And that's my encouragement to anyone out there is if you got a hobby, you know, do it as a side hustle. You know, start small. Don't go into debt. Don't pay interest rates if you can. And you know, it's nothing against those who are in business loans. It's not shaming them. It's just if you're like me, you're starting from the post side of the tracks, and you know, medical bills, because you know, and that's not sob story. I'm just trying to encourage people to be wise with their investment and how they start a business. And the point is it's fun. 5 years from now, you know, don't pay myself, put it back into the business. And so
yeah, well, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
So that means everybody has to buy some deodorant tonight.
Yeah, I want to make it so. Just so you guys know, it is made to order. I did put it on Instagram. It could take up to 3 business days, especially with this day job and peak season. I didn't get home to 6:30, you know, and then I got to sleep, so there's got to be time, and then I got to eat. Then I'm working from the house.
Really?
I got to make room to start Sockeye. So it may take a couple days to get shipped to you because it's all made from scratch.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's made fresh, so
Yeah.
I want the drone to just drop it off at my house, like within 5 minutes to place an order.
Nice.
Skin Whisker said he's looking forward to trying Journeyman. And he'd love to see a bourbon and tobacco scent. Best of luck.
Well, that's already on the radar. We have the same taste and fragrances, so hopefully something will come out of that soon. It's just got to find the right bourbon. Hey, to the guy who said that, would you like to see a bourbon in your armpit? What do you guys think? A bourbon tobacco in the armpit? Because think about it. I mean, there are fragrances you're going to want in your beard that you're not going to want to smell here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know Journeyman. I made Journeyman a deodorant, and I got a buddy out in Alaska who I met in Alaska. He lives in Hawaii now, and he likes it. He likes that tobacco smoked oud fragrant smell in his armpit.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys do that. I think you've got bourbon soaps. So I wouldn't think it'd be much different. There's certain guys that are going to gravitate to all kinds of different scents.
Mhm.
Yeah, and typically I'm not smelling my armpits, but
Yeah.
I'm 6 feet tall. My wife is 5'4", I think now, or 5'5", and yeah, well, anytime I put my arms around her, she's gonna smell my armpits, so it's got to be a scent that she likes.
Yeah, I know, right?
But she likes the Denali, and then of course she really likes the Moonbeam. But
He says it'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think was that Dr. Squatch or whatever? I think they have a bourbon deodorant.
they do, and I'm not going to talk bad about any company, but
Well,
Yeah.
that's where I started. Actually, it was Dr. Squatch. I even looked at their ingredients for deodorants, and I'm just like, oh man, they got all these scientific names for it. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I don't understand all this. And I had to look some of that stuff. I'm like, what is that? So I'm sitting on the internet looking up what they had. I know what you're talking about. The bourbon something. It doesn't smell that bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm not obviously I drink, but I'm not a big bourbon guy. It's usually IPAs or margaritas and occasionally a whiskey. But even that has to be. I can't take it straight. So to me, it doesn't smell like alcohol. It doesn't smell like a bourbon. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if anyone's big on bourbon, they could tell me if it does smell like it. But I just thought it smelled great, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
the bourbon scent product was from Duke Cannon, and I don't think it smells like bourbon, but I fell in love with bourbon scents just from their soap and their solid cologne. And then when they came out with the body wash, it was like, oh my God. And it smells so good that my wife took my bottle. I like to use the bar soap, but it's okay.
Yeah, that Buffalo Trace smells pretty good.
Oh, yes.
But I wouldn't say it smells like a bottle of bourbon.
If a bottle of bourbon smelled like that, it probably wouldn't taste like bourbon.
No.
No. Now you're making me wish I was around a fire with a nice cigar and a bourbon or a whiskey. I wish we was all doing this live stream around it. Fire. If we ever do this, if we ever do a live stream in the wintertime with somebody, I'm gonna have to do that. So you only get to see my face when the flames are hot. You'll see the light of my cigar, the little cherry of the cigar.
That sounds good. I think we're going to do that.
Yeah. Hey. So once we can keep
We're
this,
do that. Just got to
I'm
wait
down.
till it's cold again.
Yep, I'm down for it. Heck, if we we could all get together and hang out in one spot. We just put a camera right in front of us, or however it sets up, and everybody can see us doing interviews or a live stream around the fire.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were talking about having one tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, he lives up north.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be cool tomorrow, and then it's supposed to get in the 90s.
Oh, it's been in the 90s down here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can imagine Louisiana. Those Cajuns.
we've got a cold front coming through. I think we're going to have an overnight low tomorrow night of 72.
Wow.
Might have to break out a jacket.
Jason, you're going to be in
There
a
we
toga?
go. Yeah.
I think I might. We're going to do that on pay-per-view because I'd pay money to see that.
So some guy mentioned about dancing around in a toga. Like we could all just dress in togas.
For party.
Yeah, if you Will can tell you if you haven't figured out, man. I don't like to take. I could be either two extremes: super serious about something, or not serious. And when I'm not serious, man, it's Animal House without the total chaos, and the debauchery. I'm not into debauchery, but a bunch of guys doing a live stream in togas just for the fun of it sounds fun to me.
I just don't know how to make that laurel wreath to put on my head.
Yeah, I have fun with it, man. Life's too short to be too serious all the time.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I try to tell my wife. She worries about everything too much. Well, last Sunday we had a graduation party for my youngest one. She graduated this year, and she goes to the store and buys all this food. She's gonna make little slider sandwiches, so she bought a bunch of them Hawaiian rolls, and she gets. We have a ham and Swiss, we have a roast beef and cheddar. We have like a pepperoni and mozzarella, and then we browned up hamburger and just threw in a bunch of American cheese and melted it all together. So it's just like a cheesy hamburger. We had 4 big trays of that stuff. Plus we had rigatonis, hot dogs, and all. And my daughter didn't invite that many people. So I've been eating that stuff all week. I'm still eating. I did kick the potato salad. I kicked the pasta salad, and I just kicked the baked beans today. So
You poor thing, being forced to eat those little slider sandwiches.
well, I love it. I love it, but I'm just saying I know she spent too much money. Well, here's another thing. Okay. Helium for balloons. Okay. Just go get the pink tank at Walmart. Okay. Get the pink tank at Walmart. No, those don't last. You blow up the balloons, and within half an hour, they're already sagging. So we had to go to our local welding supply shop and get a bottle of helium. Do you know how much helium is nowadays? That was $118. $118 plus $100 deposit on the tank.
Oh,
Now we got that back, but it was $100. I said, "You better blow up a shit pile of balloons." and of course she didn't blow them all up because it ran out of time. So when we all got back, because we rented a pavilion at a local park, so we got everything back. I opened that son of a bitch up and let it go into the atmosphere. First, I asked if anybody wanted a hit, so they could talk funny. And they said no. So I just cracked that valve open and let it go. I said, if I'm spending $118 on it, I'm letting it go. I'm not giving them any back. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Crazy what
You know,
stuff is
Jason
now.
was talking funny.
That was a fun party, I bet.
Oh man,
Oh yeah.
that's just wild, man. But that doesn't surprise me because even the cheap stuff these days is getting expensive.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's not cheap to make beard oils either, especially if you want to use good products as carriers
Yeah.
and good
Yeah.
brands of the jojoba and metafoam and any of the other carrier oils. It's not cheap anymore. So, but, do you have alligators down there, Will?
Not in the city so much, but yeah, we got.
Man,
plenty
I think
of-
that I think the algorithm somehow picked up that I must have liked one too many alligator reels from Florida, and I'd just be scrolling. And I'm like, I'm scared to go to Florida now, man. I don't want to go to Florida anymore. And allegedly, and I don't know, it's the internet, but my family likes to go to Panama City at the end of the season when there's hardly anybody there, so they actually enjoy the beach. And going in September, and there's an alligator on the beach in Panama City.
Wow.
And I'm like, alligators are saltwater? Are there any saltwater alligators down that way?
I've never heard of that. Might be a
Yeah,
crop.
see, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if someone didn't take a pet out there and threw it on the beach.
That's possible too.
Yeah, and just made a reel out of it. Hey, there was an alligator on the beach down here.
Just be careful going down to Miami because Miami is, yeah, I am the alligator. Miami is an international port. And I've heard this from people who work at ports. Actually, they worked at the port of Jacksonville, but they've worked down there in Miami. And they said, you hear about all these crazy species of animals that are wild in South Florida? I said, no, not really. Well, you didn't hear about all, like the snakes, the anacondas, and the boas? And I'm like, well, yeah, I heard of that. He said, you know where that comes from? I said, I don't have a clue. It comes in from overseas and sits in customs, and all of these animals somehow get out. And they make it into the wild and start reproducing. So if there's something down there that's like really big and badass, it came from Miami. And it's living the American dream. And I'm not going to stop it.
Someone just said there's saltwater crocs down in Florida.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so they are occasionally on the beach. Huh.
Well, I saw a picture online a couple of weeks ago that a Dollar General store, not sure where, but somewhere here in Louisiana, they went outside and it was from the picture, looked like, I'm guessing probably about an 8 or 9 foot gator was out there sleeping next to whatever the heck it is they have outside there. Man, that would be a rude awakening. You come to open up the store in the morning and your security gator is out there.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine. Yeah, I would hate to be homeless down there. I feel sorry for the homeless guy. You wake up to a gator next to you, or sniffing you out.
It might keep the homeless population down.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. So, yeah. So you guys got any more questions about Sockeye or anything?
Nothing I can think of offhand.
Okay.
We're just wondering when is the Sockeye sponsored live stream toga party with bourbon and cigarettes?
Hey, I've actually been thinking about doing a hangout with Sockeye where we could just hang out. Like I would like to do something where, it's either live stream, like I was talking to Will about it, where we just kind of hang out. Uh, I like these quaint live streams like this. It's just fun. Just have a party online and let others join in, and heck, even maybe let some of the people watching call in if they want or stuff like that, and just have a good time. So we could dress in togas. It'd be great. I'd be totally down for doing that. So I was wanting to do a hangout with Sockeye like that at some point. I don't know if it's possible, but maybe one day that could happen.
Oh yeah, it's been done before, so I'm sure it can happen.
Yeah, I thought about doing something crazy on here tonight, but I'm like, well, I got to represent Sockeye. I'm still new. People don't know me. So I can't just show up with a big, like, funky star glasses like Bootsy Collins or something,
That's not that the ordinary, actually.
Yeah.
I've worn, for St. Patty's Day, I normally have these glasses I wear.
St. Patty's, man. Speaking of holidays, of drinking holidays, I heard, did you know Cinco de Mayo was a made-up holiday? Or allegedly it's a made-up holiday?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well,
It
it's an
doesn't
excuse
mean
to drink.
what everybody thinks it means. I don't remember what it means, but it's not what everybody thinks it is.
It means the day we take all of those Americans' money when they come in to drink our margaritas. That's what it means.
Pretty much.
I'm just like, take my money. Give me Cinco de Mayo. No.
Freaking Frack is asking where you're located.
Oh, I'm here in Georgia, just an hour south of Atlanta.
Georgia.
Yeah. We were talking about, I'm not too far from Macon, actually, where the Allman Brothers originated from. They have they turned the house that they lived into a museum down there. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And every time you say Macon, I'm thinking of Arkansas. Macon bacon.
So, but yeah, that's where I'm from. Grew up down here, and moved to Alaska at the end of 2000, and spent 11 years up. Spent 11 years up there, and my heart's still up there. So,
You ever get to go hang out in an igloo?
no, igloos are way up there on the North Slope area where it stays cold. And even then, it might get too warm after a while for that, depending on where you're at. I've seen pictures and videos of the village where my buddy's from, and it's called Anatuvik Pass, and they have trees. He's got videos of them in the summertime going through going through the wilderness there. Well, not too much of a wilderness, tundra or whatever it is, but they do have some trees up there.
Now, was there very much wilderness where you were?
Homer, it was wilderness. It was a very small, quaint town. You got a lot of it was wilderness. I'll just say that to keep it simple. I don't know how to explain it. It was a small town, like you would like just right outside the city where you're from, but where it's just country enough to be in country, but the culture is still somewhat, like there's a shop there. You go to buy your jeans, and you're spending $70 for a pair of jeans, right? For the women, there's a fancy place there where they. So
That's
so
what
that
I was
makes
just
sense.
going to ask. I was just going to ask, what's the cost of living like up there?
It's definitely more expensive. It's definitely more expensive. I would say add at least, if I recall correctly, you would want like a gallon of milk. You want to add at least $2 more to it, or dollar two more to it.
Wow.
And then
Reason I asked about the wilderness, when I was in high school, one of my classmates, his parents they owned a big company, but they had a mine in Alaska. I don't remember if it was gold or diamonds, but every summer they would go up there to Alaska, and Paul would tell us about it. He said, "Yeah, in town everything's groovy cool, but there's a certain line you would reach where the town and basically civilization stopped and wilderness began." And he said the mosquitoes up there were unreal, outrageously unreal. Not even, you couldn't even compare it to what we have in Louisiana. We've got some places that are pretty like frightening with the skeeters. And he said that you go, if you cross that line and get into skeeter territory, they might just pick you up and carry you away.
Yeah, it'd be a swarm of them just picking you up together. Yeah, it gets pretty gnarly there. Where I was at, I was on the shore, so you had mosquitoes. Then you can get a good day breeze during the daytime, or if there's a good wind in the evening, it could push them away. But the further you get away from the shore to the hillside, Homer is actually up against a hill, and it goes up the hill obviously, and further up the base. That's where you're going to get your mosquitoes. And yes, there's a lot of them, more so than down here. And I'm still swatting moths. They're almost as bad as the moths right now with all this light.
Light a fire.
Yeah, right.
Boy.
I need to get one of those things that zaps them. One of those
Yeah.
little lights. Hang it up close by next time I do a live stream outside, or sit outside too. But just
You'll hear the zapping.
Yeah, it's like I'll be saying something. Bzz. Maybe I'll put it behind me so you guys can see it too. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Free entertainment.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. You guys fish?
I don't.
I haven't in quite a few years.
Yeah, if you saw the reel I put out this weekend, we went bass fishing. I didn't catch anything. I got a couple things on the hook, and it just got right off.
I love fishing for bass, but last fishing trip I went on, we went with some friends that rented, it wasn't a cabin, it was a house up there on a lake, and the wind was blowing. Oh my goodness. The first day we were out there, it was like 20-mile-per-hour winds blowing. Needless to say, wasn't a thing biting. Not even coming close to biting. And it was a great trip, don't get me wrong, but we didn't catch anything. But it stayed windy the whole time we were there. And when it wasn't windy, it was so hot, you could watch the asphalt start bubbling.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, the struggle is real over here in the summer times, man.
Yeah, I bet, man. And whoever thought asphalt was a good idea?
Well, it might be great for up north, but the problem with Louisiana, you build a road with asphalt. Well, our summer times it's gonna buckle. You build a road with concrete, because our water table is so high, it's gonna sink and crack. So you're for losing, unless you build a bridge. Yeah, if we had bridges all across the state, we'd be all right. We could have a roadway.
So I see that question there. If I fly fished, no, I haven't. I've never fly fished. I would like to give it a shot though. When I lived in Alaska, I was like a skater city boy, and I just moved straight to the wilderness. Where I grew up over in Griffin, it was citified, the extension of Atlanta. Skate, and then occasionally would go swimming in the river, and that was about as country as it got for me. So in Alaska, I never actually did any river fishing or anything like that. But it wasn't until I moved back in 2011 and I started actually casting a rod again, and I realized bass fishing is so much better than watching a cork just sit there and bob. So never fly fish in Alaska, but I have seen some of my friends do it, and it's definitely. Speaking of bucket lists, that would be a bucket list thing that I would like to try is fly fishing.
It looks like work to me.
It is. It is. I'm pretty sure it is. But that's why one of the things I love about bass fishing is you're casting. You're constantly moving. That attention span. A lot of people say they ADD this day. I don't know if I really am or not. I'm part of that generation. We all think we're ADD, so it helps me out. So I think that a lot of that work would actually keep me occupied and busy. Otherwise, I'll get bored and go to sleep. Especially if it's hot. A heat will put you to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Especially our age, right?
Yeah.
You guys recall
Well,
fall asleep in the heat in 20?
even when I was younger, I used to hunt. We used to hunt. And, when I was younger, my dad would take me out hunting, and he'd set me at a tree, and then he'd go walk around. And when he finally made it back to me, he'd catch me sleeping. Because you just got to get up too early in the morning to get out in the woods. Get up, you get all dressed up and get ready to go. Got your stuff, head out to the woods, and you sit down. You're just going to go to sleep. That's what I did.
What'd you guys hunt? Just deer?
Deer, whitetail. I never hunted small game. I did go out a couple times with a buddy of mine. He had some beagles, and we went rabbit hunting. And but yeah, it was mostly just whitetail. That was all I hunted. Deer hunting.
And you say you're in? Where'd you say you're at? Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all they got up there. They don't have anything else like moose.
Well, there's some elk and moose, but they're usually on preserves.
Oh yeah. I just wasn't sure if the moose population or how far south it comes. I know it comes down into like Montana and North Dakota. I just wasn't sure if it could actually reach that far low. Never thought to ask that until now, actually.
there's a bunch in
we do.
Wyoming.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are they as big? I wonder if the moose gets smaller too. I wonder if they all just stay the same size from Wyoming all the way up to where I lived.
When we were out in Wyoming, I saw a pretty big one. Or
Yeah.
at least I thought it was big.
Was it the size of a horse or bigger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Then they stay the same no matter where they go.
I was going to say, if the moose up in Wyoming are small compared to up north, I'm not going up north.
Oh, dude, listen, yeah. Yeah. What's really interesting is when you pull out of a parking lot, and literally, as soon as you pull out, a bear crosses the road. That's my favorite one. Of course, I don't want to have to encounter a bear like close to this thing or whatever, but it was kind of cool to be in town, and all this in town, there goes a bear. I was in Anchorage one time, and in a busy intersection, a bull moose was just eating on the tree.
Well, when when I was in Yellowstone once, that was before I went with Scott and Mike, me and my wife and the kids, and we went into Yellowstone. And we come to this one area that was kind of developed. They had a little store and stuff, there. There was like 4 or 5 moose just in the yard eating off the trees and stuff. And yeah, the smallest one was about the size of a horse. Some of them guys are they're tall. The moose are tall. They got long legs.
Yeah, I just recently posted one from my Valiant Image page. If you saw, it still might be in my story. I don't know if it's been 24 hours yet, or you just got a Valiant Image. I took one, and that bull moose. The story behind that, there was a mom and a calf. We're just grazing on this hiking trail when I was up there in 2022, visiting my sons, my twin sons, and I had them hang out with me to help me deal with it, and just hold my equipment while I'm doing the camera, and it can be kind of dangerous. So that's me. I love the thrill, right? I'm like, it's kind of dangerous, but it's safe enough. And I know, if I duck into this tree, it's going to run past me. I'm going to be fine. and all of a sudden, they moved, and I was like, oh crap! I mean, because they were like checking. The mom was getting in between me and the calf, they moved and ran off, and it kind of freaked us out a little bit. And here comes this bull out of the woods looking for him, and grazing at the same time, just following behind our trail. And I was just like, yeah, boom! And I was able to capture that. And in fact, if you're able to zoom in, you'll see these little spots there. Will, that's a mosquito. There's a bunch of mosquitoes and flies flying around it.
Yeah, kill an animal? Nah, I'm more of a people person.
Yeah. No, man, I'd rather be in the woods and take the risk of being mauled by a bear than be around a city. As I gotten older, I just there's something. It just my soul. It's like there's a book called Wild at Heart. You guys ever heard of it?
Sounds vague.
Yeah, Wild at Heart talks about what makes you come alive. That's a good question you can ask some of your hosts sometimes, or yourselves, just in questions to encourage other men. What makes you come alive? And that's one of the things that makes me come alive is being with people. I do love people, but I don't like being in congesting with people the older I get. I don't even like busy restaurants anymore. You know, if it gets too busy, I get overwhelmed, I get anxious, and I just love being in the woods. And crime is getting so crazy these days. I'd rather take the risk of being mauled by a bear than live near this big city. You know?
Yeah.
So that's one. Don't want to deal with the crime. Two, it makes me come alive to be in the wilderness.
Yeah, there's back home in the little small town that I'm from, over at the boat launch, there's a public boat launch, and there's also a fish cleaning station. And they have a big sign out there that, well, actually, there's two signs. One says, "Be careful, watch out for black bears." And fish cleaning station, okay, I get that. Then there's another sign that says, "It is against the law in Louisiana to kill a black bear."
Okay, so
Bear?
I write me up, find me, scrape me in jail.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
if it's between me and the bear,
if it's between me and the bear, you know, self-defense. I'm claiming self-defense.
Yeah, unless you got pictures of it, partner, that bear's going to be eaten before any officials know about it.
Yeah. I'm going to have me a new rug.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, someone said being mauled by a bear is easy compared to what they do to you in the city. Yeah, that's true, man. There's no telling what'll happen.
That's what I tell my wife all the time. She likes traveling. She wants to go on vacation. And one year she asked me, she goes, well, "What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?" And since I'm on the eastern coast, you know, I says, I want to rent a cabin in Maine and just go there. And she goes, "Well, what are we going to do?" I said, "We're going to sit on the porch and drink beer and relax and watch nature, you know." But when she goes someplace, she's got to go here, go there, go check this out. Go.
you go.
And I'm the same way. Too many people. I just want to be left alone. That's not vacation. Getting in a car and driving to this place to check it out and leaving there and checking this out. Yeah, there's a lot of things in the world I'd like to see, but vacation to me is going somewhere and relaxing. That's vacation. That one year we went out. The one year we flew out to Portland, Oregon, and there's in McMinnville, Oregon, there is I think it's Evergreen Aviation Museum, and that's where the spruce goose is, from Howard Hughes' Spruce Goose. So I wanted to go there. So me and the one daughter went there because she was in Civil Air Patrol. So we went there, and my wife and the other daughter, they drove up to Astoria where the Goonies was filmed. So they went and checked that beach out, but then we left there and we drove south into California to check out some of the redwood trees. Then we drove to, I guess, Yellowstone. Yeah, Yellowstone would have been first. And we went to Yellowstone, spent time there. Then we drove to South Dakota and checked out Mount Rushmore and the other one they're doing, the Indian. I always forget its name.
Oh, I was
But
thinking of Burgess.
no. There's another big mountain engraving they're doing that'll probably never get done. Is it? I can't remember the famous Indian's name, but anyway, and we went there, and then I think that's about all we went. But then we drove down into Colorado and flew home from Colorado. So that was a lot of freaking driving from Oregon, California, Yellowstone, South Dakota, Colorado. To me, that wasn't vacation. That was spending a lot of time in the car, in a rental car to boot,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you saw, I'm assuming you saw, if you drove down from Oregon into California, you were going down Interstate 5. And when I was a truck driver, I went all the way up to Tacoma and the other big place. I can't think of the name of it now. Seattle, yeah. And I ran I-5 all the way down. I went to San Luis Obispo. But coming down I-5, it was nighttime. And I look to my left, and I see these little tiny lights, like way down there. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I realized that was the northbound lanes because the interstate is built on the side of a mountain. And I promise you that they were at least 500, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 feet lower than the southbound lanes were. The northbound lanes were down there. And I was like, who thinks of this? I mean, this is a feat of technology because obviously that freeway's been there for a while. And it's like, man, somebody was way ahead of their own time to be able to plan this to build it on the side of a freaking mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet it looks cool during the daytime.
Oh yeah.
I bet speaking of photography, I wonder if it's a good photography. Will, if we can remember, what's the name of that street? The highway?
Oh, Interstate 5.
Interstate 5. I want to see if there's like light trails, like photography where they do the light trails on there. That'd be kind of cool to see. Mm-hmm. So I see they got a question here.
Got a favorite IPA?
A favorite IPA? All right, so all IPAs for the most part taste the same unless they put blood orange in it, and I don't like blood orange in my beers. So maybe he can help me out. Most IPAs taste the same. I like it when it has a little grapefruit flavor to it. I don't know if that's the hops or where that's coming from. When it comes to IPAs, I like it a little hoppy or grapefruity. But blood orange, no. So black IPA, never heard of it. Was that got coffee in it? Is that like a mix between stout IPA?
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I don't know anything about IPAs other than people bashing on IPA drinking. I don't remember. It was a post I saw somewhere. Don't remember, but it was a post for a heated brush straightener, and the comments were just god awful haters in there. It was like, oh, you use a heated brush on your beard? Well, I bet you drink IPAs and while wearing your mom jeans. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, they stereotype the beard. Yeah, I had a coworker try to discourage me with the whole. He was mocking the beard culture, saying, did it start with Duck Dynasty? Yeah, I don't even understand why all of a sudden people getting beards. Duck Dynasty, and why would you want to make a beard oil company and sell that? It's just going to go away. It's just a trend. I was just like, wow. Is there
Yeah,
anything else you want to tell me that's discouraging?
it's only $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a $1 billion industry. Jesus had a beard. Men from since the fall, maybe
Yeah.
even before that, has had a beard.
It's not a trend. It's
Yeah, in fact, Dan just right when I said something in a moment of discouragement, Dan Command puts out a video correcting that. He's like, it's the other way around. This baby face, clean cut. I call it. No offense to people who are the boomer age. I'm not condemning people, but boomer culture seems like it's a clean cut culture, and so I just call it the boomer look. I don't know. It's just, and I am being condemning, condescending, because I just don't know what else to label it.
Yeah.
And so Dan actually put it into proper perspective for. If you guys haven't seen that, so it came out in the past month, and
The funny thing though about the haters, I went look at their profiles, and all of these guys were really too ugly to grow a beard.
or they can't grow a beard.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't grow a beard.
I think that's more what it's about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's probably and I think some people are just they worship themselves. They're too self-absorbed to appreciate other things that other people can do in life. I think that's what it boils down to is they're just miserable people. And so and I saw someone say they disagree and they named a brand of IPA. If that's what people meant, I like Basement IPA. I forget the name of the company. Basement IPA is really good. There's a couple local companies around here that I like as well. So if that's what you meant, it's just brand names. Scofflaw Basement IPA. That's a good one. So if that's what you meant, yeah, I understand what you're talking about. And now you got me talking. I guess there is some variance, but I was just generalizing because after a while I was like, man, all these IPAs do sound kind of taste the same.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think I like the IPA from Scofflaw is it's unfiltered.
Like
And there's something about that unfiltered beer that's just
I don't think I've ever had one that's been unfiltered.
yeah. You'll see little floaties in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. It's worth it. But if you have gastro issues afterwards, just stay away from the family for a little while.
last time I saw little floaties in my beard, I woke up 2 days later.
Oh,
Oh
Not
boy.
going any further with that. I'll stick to my Coors Light or my Yingling.
Yingling's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I love Yingling. Didn't know what I was missing until it finally started making its way down south.
Yeah, it's not watered down. I tried a Bud Light, and man, it just made me burp. Burp. It's like drinking water. I'm like, no. If I told my friends who that I drink around. Look, I was a teetotaler, church guy, teetotaler for a little while. Then I started drinking microbrews and smoking cigars with the pastor out of his treehouse. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, it's like you move to the north, man. The culture is different than here in the south, where everything's teetotaling. I mean, it's up there too. I mean, you're always going to have people, the body of Christ, or teetotalers. Nothing wrong with it, but you start to step out into other things, and I told my circle of friends, I was like, if I start drinking Bud Light, send me to AA or something, because
Oh man, I drank a Bud Light one day, and the next thing I know, I'm wearing a dress. What the heck happened, man?
no, but yeah, it's just like once it get watered down, either you can't tolerate the heavier beers, and we're coming from where I'm coming from, and seeing my family members, in and out of jail because of drinking and driving. It's like, you're an alcoholic. You need to just stop. You're drinking watered down beer just because you can't afford anything else. And so I'm just like, dude, that it's nasty. It's just so nasty. It's either you have to watch how you drink because of your body, or you got a problem. Those are the only two extremes I could think of for drinking it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I had my earbuds died, so the sound quality is probably going to change for me. Let's see.
Actually, sound louder to me.
A lot louder.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Great. Well, I just won't put these earbuds in. I got these the old school stringy ones I was about to try. I'll just go without it. I just want to make sure I'm able to hear you guys. Yeah, it's just you guys are a little quiet because I just got this little iPhone speaker.
Okay.
I only get sick when I drink too much.
Yeah.
I don't have a drinking problem. I drink, I get drunk, and I fall down. See? No problem.
What's the difference between an alcoholic and a drunk?
Alcoholics go to meetings.
Alcoholics go to meetings.
Hey, I could say that because I was a full functioning drunk back in my 20s. And, my grandmother used to tell me this, God rest her soul. She used to tell me this when I was growing up all the time. God takes care of fools, drunks, and little children. And I fell into all three categories a lot of times, and sometimes all three of those categories at the same time.
This guy's talking about Long Island screwdrivers.
Long Island screwdrivers. That's interesting.
Oh wow, dude. Yeah, stay away from Amber. Stay away from alcohol. That sounds terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, Long Island screwdrivers. I tried Long Island's, and when I was in Seward going to the vocational school in there, they were half off.
And so
they were like these tall boys. Okay, they were like taller than this.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3. Let's just say I didn't leave my dorm room the next. I hated life the next day. It creeps up on you. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're there, and there was a local band from Alaska who did a lot of ska covers, and I love ska and reggae. Okay, so they were playing the ska, and at the end of the night, when everyone's had all their drinks and it's getting closer to that, they started playing their other music too, like play that funky music, white boy, all these kind of funky dance songs, and it blends right into it from the ska to that. So naturally, I was all hyped up, and I hated the next day.
Yep. Drugs are bad, okay? You do drugs, you're bad, okay?
Yeah.
Alcohol is a drug.
Oh, is that from somebody from King of the Hill, or is that South Park?
South Park.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember the character's name, but I improvised the last line, but
Yeah.
first line, I've known it for years because I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. The King, I think it's King of the Hill. The propane guy. No, it's
Yeah.
Family Guy. The dad. I've got one of the higher up managers in the business I work for, and when we go to do our sales meetings, looks just like him with the dad name. He even has the double nut chin. Like
He's a real life Peter Griffin.
yeah, he's a real big Peter Griffin. So I can't. So when he shows his face in the sales meetings, I'm glad they can't see my face because the whole time, man. It's like I feel like I'm talking to Peter Griffin here.
And I actually have Peter Griffin as my text message alert on my phone.
Oh boy.
I'll pull it to you guys after the stream.
Yeah, you have to send me what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Speaking of King of Hill, do you got in Reels? We were talking about Reels. Do you ever follow the guy who does the propane impersonation?
Oh yeah.
I've seen a couple of his. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody send me a link.
Yeah.
See that?
You're in bed and you're not really as sleepy as you should be. You want to be. Yeah, I found him and I love it.
My name is Hank Hill, and propane is my life.
Yeah, this guy, he's a really good impersonator. He looks almost like him. So,
Bobby, what were you thinking, boy?
I sell propane. I sell lawn care.
Go door.
Dude.
I'm Chris Head, and lawn care is my life.
And that's something I might try. It's got to be. I love to disarm people. One of the things you got to do when you're doing door-to-door sales is nobody wants you there, right? You come to my door. I'm not mean, but I don't really want you either. Because I'm not looking for anything. So I look, instead of always be closing, I'm looking to always disarm. So it'd be kind of cool to incorporate that as an introduction. I don't do it though.
You can show up on a bicycle wearing a white short sleeve button down with a black tie and black pants. You're cool with me. You come knock on the door, I got no problems with that.
Yeah. So I'm the type I would want to try to figure out a way to change their mind, but I don't know enough about their religion to do that. So, but yeah, I definitely don't want those people coming to my door either. I don't want to have to sit there and say, nod my nod, grin and grin. Yeah, go away. So,
that's nice.
Yeah, I actually took the Mormon temple tour while I was in that talking about the dyno. I actually took the tour when I was had a layover in Salt Lake City. Delta goes from Atlanta, Salt Lake City, and then straight to Anchorage. So I got, so they said I took the temple tour, and they was like, I listened to this spear, and that's exactly what I did. It's like, no, thank you, I'm good. See ya. So, but yeah, it's a door-to-door sales is it's not for the faint of heart, and I'm getting older, and I realize it's a young man's game. So. Even though
there's energy for it.
Yeah, past couple of days the heat's been getting to me pretty good too. So I've been spending a lot more time trying to do follow-ups in the AC of my truck.
What you do is you drive up to the person's house and you just lay on the horn until they come out and come over to your truck and talk to you.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all want lawn care?
Well, I thought about one time it's just putting a speaker on the top of my truck and just rolling down my window and saying free weed control, and kind of stop free weed and then control. And so but have the ice cream truck music playing and try to get everybody to come out to give a free estimate. Just cruise through the neighborhood really slow. Free weed control. Beep, 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 with the music.
I think you would be visited by the boys in blue.
Or some angry people kick me out of their neighborhood. So, by the way, a little fun fact about that. I finally got sick and tired of worrying. I see these no soliciting signs and the cops get called on us. And it's just part of the job, man. I finally looked it up to see if it was actually some loophole illegal thing. And according to the First Amendment, everyone who solicits has a First Amendment right to be in your neighborhood. You have to put it on your door and on your property. No soliciting, stay away kind of stuff. For us not. If I see a no soliciting sign, I turn around and walk away. I don't even knock. And if I do, and like most people have the cameras, if I ring that bell and then I see it, I'm like, oh, sorry. Let's say to the camera, hey, I didn't see that. I'm out. But there's a First Amendment right for religious people, political people, soliciting, and door-to-door salesmen to walk into any neighborhood and solicit.
And see, the panhandlers down here, they're not even remotely impacted by no solicitation signs posted, especially outside of gas stations and stuff like that.
Did you guys hear that?
What was that?
What was that?
Oh, we got another stray cat. You saw me the orange cat, Khajiit, by the way. Those who talking about Skyrim, named that cat Khajiit. Stray cat is took home here, and another one is trying to do it. I live 1,000 feet off the road. Where are these cats coming from? Got a cat with a head like this big and a smaller body, so it walks around with this big old head. It just showed up and didn't know I was sitting up here. And Khajiit said, "No, I ain't having it." I was kind of hoping possum. There's been a possum coming up here too.
We get a bunch of those in our yard.
What's that?
We get a bunch of possums in our yard.
I've actually kind of like possums. I used to think they were so scary and ugly and nasty looking. They're actually kind of cool now.
And they eat snakes.
They eat snakes. They don't get rabies. I
Yep.
just wish they'd stay away from my cat's food. That'd be about it.
Now it's raccoons that are just cute as all get out, but they're pests.
Yeah,
They'll eat kittens.
Yeah, don't take residence in my ductwork under the house. I'm good. So, but yeah, that was a cat fight. I didn't even hear the last thing you said because I'm hearing this. So,
well, I think we're gonna wind down the stream, guys. We're over 2 hours here.
oh wow,
Good stream.
wow. How long do you guys normally go?
Normally an hour and a half to
Okay.
2.
Really?
I was just listening to your stream with Bearded Death while I was working windshield time. I do a lot of windshield time, so I listen to podcasts and stream videos and just listen to them and pay attention to how long the video was.
Yeah, it was right about this time.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate.
I think his phone or something was dying on him.
Yeah,
We just ended the stream. But
Yeah.
And see, that's wild.
thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
man, I thank you.
Yeah.
One of you guys, my products. Was that Jason or you guys? You?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I love it. It's
Good.
got great woodsy, clean scent. So
Good. Well, good deal, man. Well, thank you for having me on as well.
And for those guys out there that want a smell that lasts forever, I can personally attest, Journeyman will last you at least 12 hours.
wow.
I put it on it was yesterday, in fact. Yesterday afternoon, got back from the gym, or day before yesterday. Took a shower, put it in beard. That was in the afternoon. I don't think I put anything on to go to bed that night. Woke up the next morning, it's like, ooh, still smelling good. And that was well over 12 hours. So
Nice.
you have found the sweet spot for your fragrance.
All right, guys. Here, and I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to get to meet you. And Great.
Nice to meet you guys too, man. Take care.
yeah. Good night, everybody.
Right.
My boy.
Yeah, come out and check us again next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking to another great company next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Find the button.